to wrap this up, 2026, yeah, any other predictions, any other grievances?
That's what we were going to do. We were going to have the airing of the grievances. We're going to make a Seinfeld approach to the end of the podcast.
I know you've been waiting all 45 minutes for this, so have at it.
You guys might have to go first because I've got so many I got to pick from.
I'll go first. My biggest grievance is just the lever pulling. It's like something's wrong and you just pull every possible lever and then just swings this way. And then like you pull all the levers back and it swings this way. We just talked about like our vacancy rate was really low. It's like, hey, we need to get it up. So let's just do absolutely everything possible to make it high. And then now it's just skyrocketing. Now we need exemptions to bring it back down to the normal pace faster. It's just like, holy shit, just pull one lever at a time. Let's see what happens here.
Can't agree more, Matt. That's my major grievance, and it's very specific to provincial government. I think I've done an absolute terrible job in terms of housing. Some of the asinine, policies that they have in place and the things that they do, they're so out to lunch. I could go on forever, but it drives me absolutely crazy. So that is definitely my biggest grievance to provincial government.
Yeah. I mean, you guys took the easy one. There's nothing else left really, but a little spin-off on that is I totally agree. I think my frustration has been in the past with provincial government is the headlines. Mm-hmm. It's like great media post, hey, GST rebate, and it kind of hypes everyone up, but we don't know exactly how it works. Is it an exemption rebate? Who qualifies? And then they change it. So, it could range from anything they've been advocating for. Same with, first-time homebuyer grants, sliding scale on property transfer tax exemptions, like just
poorly thought out.
Stop coming up with like the media headline and actually come out and execute it. Insured, mortgages, $1 million to $1.5 million. Like all these things are great, but just like come out and do it properly and execute and stop having like a bunch of fine print with nuances that really at the end of the day, it's a nothing burger. Like just do what you're trying to do on the headline, and that would be mine.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, I'll pick one. Housing attainability, affordability is directly tied to how much you make and how much you take home. My beef is I'm not hearing enough at the municipal, provincial, and federal level about how we're going to create really great jobs that pay really well and lower people's taxes. Because you're not going to change the cost of construction that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The costs are the costs. They're established.
Yeah.
Okay. And interest rates, prediction 2026, flat. And I think maybe a little lower at the end of the year. Most predictions have been they're going to be flat for the entire year. I think they're going to come down a little bit at the end of the year, personally. But they're pretty much stable. So where can you make a change? It's how much money you're bringing home.
Yeah.
And how much they're leaving you with. And the amount of tax we pay and the ability to create good jobs. We need good, solid paying jobs. And I'm not hearing that. Yeah, we're in housing and development and that sort of thing. And we always pay attention to that. But it's the people that rely on housing are all those professions. That's my beef. I want to hear more about that. I was just at the UDI Mayor's Conference. It was great. All the mayors were fantastic. None of them talked about how they're going to create job growth in their community.
So I agree with that totally. And to the point about the construction costs not coming down, I have a funny anecdote about this, is that on our podcast, we had a guest on that was talking about how costs are not coming down, they're getting more expensive, and that construction sites now have to have flushable toilets on the construction site. So we, on our podcast, we laughed about it, made a joke about it. I start getting messages from construction workers being like, you're not taking away our fucking flushable toilets on the construction site. I just thought this would be a hilarious thing that everybody would agree with, that is crazy and it's costing a lot of money. It is not. Those construction workers are not giving up their flushable toilets. So my point about this is construction costs are not coming down. They're fixed, right? They're going to stay the same.
Yeah,
so I agree with your point that it has to be the wages.
The cost of that flushable toilet, we can keep that in. There's so many other costs that are born that aren't toilets that we could change. There's another angle to this, and I was talking to a local politician. They'll be nameless because I don't want them to know that I shared this. And he said something that I thought was really, really astute. He said, why can't we just, if we need to build a new road and it's kind of in a bit of a semi-urban rural place, why can't we just have a gravel swale? Like, why does it need full curb, gutter? In other words, let's keep the cost reasonable. I was just down at the end of Sarson's here, and I noticed a change. all this concrete that's been poured on every corner at Sarson's Beach, that intersection there.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that before. Stop signs, concrete barriers. I'm like,
I actually haven't seen it yet.
I'm like, since when did Sarson's get so dangerous? So I just see this and I'm like, I think we're not spending money in the right places.
Yeah.
You know, I think actually a really good toilet for a construction worker is a good thing. I think it's actually a good place to spend money. I know, I believe it. I absolutely think it does. I've got my building license.
I was in construction.
I know.
Totally.
Matt and I came from trades. We're like, I don't know.
They're going to have more respect for that house when they go and build it.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to deliver is a better home.
I think it's more like step code and building code.
I agree.
Like just the layers of, and some of the, the things that are, doubling, tripling up on certain things, like just that kind of stuff. There's so much, fat in a lot of these regulations.
So, okay, I have another anecdotal story. I'm working on my basement suite. I'm building a basement suite house. It is like literally cities have been built faster than my basement suite. It is going so slow. But one of the things, I have a furnace. I have an electric heat pump, exactly like super nice one in my house. Heated the basement. City inspector says you have to come, you have to plug all the ducts, 5/8 drywall over it, put in baseboard heating and a new heat pump to do the heater. But then because that place is now not vented because we just blocked all the ducts, I have to put in a venting system that's not heating or cooling, another venting system. It cost me like $15,000. And now my place is actually worse because it has baseboard heating when it had a heat pump before. It's crazy. It cost me like so much money, so much time, and we actually have a worse product downstairs in the basement.
A perfect example, Matt, of just asinine, backwards thinking, like just two sides of things just not speaking to each other.
It's just crazy.
People wonder why are things so unaffordable? Why is it so hard?
That's like I'm doing this, and then I come talking on this podcast about every single episode is housing's too expensive. It's just like these stupid things are why.
Totally.
Because it's fine to come up with like the step code stuff, the toilets at construction site, the extra sidewalks. You could build anything you want as long as our economy can support it.
Exactly.
And our economy cannot right now. That's the issue, right? Like some of these ideas aren't the worst ideas, but like we do not have the financial stability to actually execute them. So why do that right now? Like focus on the need.
It's a wish list of some bureaucrat, right? Yeah. That doesn't truly understand how that affects things down the road, right? And how it affects the actual, building of things. And that's what's so frustrating.
What? Because it creates great headlines that will lead to votes.
There you go. 100%.